What's up, guys? Welcome to Appropriate Culture. Today, we're going to be talking about aliens and the paranormal. We're switching it up for this episode. Today, we're going to be doing a vegan version of a hot wing challenge. So, Lucas and I are going to be asking each other questions. We're going to start with mild hot wings. We're going to be working our way up to melt your face off hot. So, it should be a fun day. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. And we're live. All right. It's good to be back.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, feeling all right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep the headphones on today. They're probably going to come off at some point. And the reason is because we're going to be spicing up today's episode 4. And we're going to be diving into everything extraterrestrial, aliens, intelligent life from a different planet. And, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is spice things up here, no pun intended. And what we're going to be doing is going back and forth. I have questions that Brandon does not know. Brandon has questions that I don't know. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and have you fill in the blanks with what I missed in regards of the whole layout. But you're the cook, so you have the in on some of these sauces before I've even gotten around to it.
Yeah, so today we're going to be doing buffalo cauliflower wings. It's basically a vegan version of like a hot wing challenge.
Hot ones.
Yeah, so yeah.
Shout out to Hot Ones.
Shout out to Hot Ones. It's not, I mean, it's, we're basically, we love, that show, and I love that show. I used to love chicken wings, back before I went plant-based, but I'm plant-based now. And so we just think this is kind of a cool format. We're gonna, do our little spin on it. And so we've got buffalo cauliflower wings, that we actually just got at the store. I didn't
make
these myself. I do have a buffalo cauliflower wing recipe in my cookbook that I'm releasing in a couple weeks.
Dope.
But we're gonna be doing some like melt your face off hot sauces. A few, I think 4 of them are habanero, with 2 of them being like just ridiculously hot. Actually, 3 of them. So it's not like we're not testing the Scoville units, but we're basically just going from not so hot to like ridiculous melt your face off, way too hot sauce. And we're putting that on these buffalo cauliflower wings. And yeah, I feel like I don't really want to associate this memory with my cooking because some of these, especially having Crohn's disease, I'm like, hot, super ridiculously hot sauce is usually not my friend. So.
You think you're gonna tap out?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I'm not averse to pain, but for my stomach's sake, if I might have to not swallow. I might have to spit it out if it gets to the point where I feel like I'm endangering my life. Because I have had some serious intestinal issues before, but
let's not push it to that point.
We're not gonna get that
but
far. So.
Your boy does not like to not finish a challenge. Yeah, so, right. Needless to say, let's get it.
Yeah.
Cool. So I suggest, how about you guys, rock paper scissors?
Yeah. Let's rock paper scissors. I haven't done that in years.
Let's get it. Rock paper scissors.
Damn it. All right. So I'll ask you first.
So you ask me, I got to put the sauce on. What sauce are we messing with right now?
We're starting with Crystal hot sauce.
And we here's another one. We pour for each other.
Okay, word.
So you pour it on. Here, I'll hand you my plate. Go ahead and pick one. And you, for the record, pour a regular one. Yeah. None of this half-ass.
Yeah, we're basically going to coat it in hot sauce like a hot wing.
Okay.
And I try to give you a little bit of handle, but that's got...
I'm trying to get this out of here so it doesn't... doesn't affect the other wings.
And you can go ahead and do mine before I.
They're gonna be.
Yeah.
Me over here.
We might as well just do them both at the same time.
I think that counts.
All right, yeah. And again, this is Crystal hot sauce, just pretty standard Louisiana hot sauce.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite, I guess.
Yeah, dive right in.
Okay.
So, first question: do you believe in aliens? And what do aliens mean to you if you do believe in aliens?
First off, this is delicious. I'm actually really hungry, so just hitting the spot.
So, how's the crystal?
Yeah, it's very tasty. It's not overpowering at all. Very nice, very nice. But as far as your question goes, I do believe in aliens. And you asked me, what do they mean?
Like, yeah, I mean,
what
aliens. I mean, does that mean like little green men coming here in spaceships? Does that mean like energy fields? Does that mean bacteria? Potentially on other planets?
You literally just kind of like lined up a bunch of the answer I was gonna say, which is, it goes in all the categories from beings that we can't see to beings that are supposedly smarter than us to beings who are supposedly less smart than us. On a on a cellular level, and even more on like an animal sort of perspective, like third dimension type stuff. So I find it very hard to believe that there is not life like here in other places outside of the solar system, and even in this solar system.
Word. Nice.
Yeah.
So you see aliens as like there's just multiple forms, saying some more intelligent. Would those be? I mean, do you think they?
Yeah, I guess that's subjective, right?
Yeah.
What is like the basis of measuring intelligence? A race that can blow you up in seconds, or a race that chooses not to do it but can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, look at how we go about things. We sort of pick fights. I don't want to say we as humans pick fights first, but we're not known to come in peacefully first all the time.
Yeah,
we often come in,
tend to be aggressive.
Yeah, guns blazing. And so I believe that it's sort of like a mathematical perspective at this point. Odds wise, I just don't buy it that we're just roaming around the entire universe as the top tier intelligence right up until you go to your God.
Word. Yeah, I like that perspective.
Yeah. What about you? Wait. Actually, sorry. Not what about you.
That's not.
Forget that. Yeah. So you got to eat that.
So, all right. I got my crystal hot wing, my buffalo cauliflower.
Okay. Do you think humans are the smartest life form on Earth?
It's really good.
Not bad, right? Not bad.
Do I think that humans are the smartest life form on Earth?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there could be multiple layers to that question, because I think that there are multiple. I believe in the multiple dimensionality of Earth. I think that there are multiple dimensions existing within Earth, or there are multiple dimensions of Earth, in that there is basically a higher level of consciousness that's associated with different dimensions, mainly inner dimensions of Earth. So essentially planes like the Akashic Records, if you're familiar with, I think it's like Vedic tradition, or Hindu tradition, but basically it's like a level of a mental plane that you can get to through meditation or hypnosis. Edgar Cayce was an American prophet who was said to access the Akashic records through hypnosis.
Okay.
So I think there are energies, and I think I believe in that there are ascended masters who live within inner planes on the earth who are here to assist us. But as far as physical beings on the planet, unless you consider dolphins and whales as as intelligent or more intelligent, which I think I personally would say dolphins are at least as intelligent as humans. But other than that, I don't think there are other physical beings on Earth. I think there are energies, and I believe in infinite intelligence, like as an energy that pervades the universe.
Okay.
But as far as physical beings, I don't think there are more advanced physical beings than humans on Earth right now.
Word. I mean, the reason why I asked that one is because this is stuff that can be pulled up as far as information, official documents from the United States government, and then also the people that were involved at the time with their own personal records, photos, documents, and so on. And what I'm about to tell you is one story about this, and there's several of them. But to kind of go a little quicker, in this situation, the story goes, and I don't want to just call it a story because there is facts behind this. Mm-hmm. So, but the story goes, ship crashes on Earth. They get picked up by the United States government, end up getting stranded here. United States government basically tells them that in this situation, them is a couple of beings from, in this situation, according to them, from Venus. One of which had the what is that race that is always spoken about? The blonde Aryan race.
Anunnaki?
No, I think it's just the Aryan race. Yeah. And so it's just blonde, tall, Caucasian skin. And in essence, those were the beings that actually also got in contact with Hitler, which made Hitler think that those type of beings were the ultimate gene. Blonde, blue eyes, white skin. That's how the story, yeah.
So, okay, so we just jumped right in. Blew the cover open.
So basically, to kind of wrap it up.
You're saying that you believe that those higher intelligence, those beings are higher intelligence than us because they have the ability to come here in a spaceship.
Well, that, but plus, when they actually got to know one of these individuals, his name was Valiant Thorn, which is like straight up out of a movie.
Wait, so where did you hear this?
Yeah, I found this on many sources. So one of the sources was from Phil Sharp, which was an engineer and basically engineer for the United States government for 20 years, where he worked on most of the underground bases.
Right.
His father was the one that was working during the World War II when they took the majority of the Nazi scientists in.
Operation Paperclip.
Correct.
Yeah, I just downloaded that the audiobook of that, but I haven't gotten through it yet.
Yeah. So the guy, Phil Sharp, actually has pictures and documents of this guy, Valiant Thorn, with his dad in rooms having meetings and discussions. This guy had apparently 6 toes and fingers. He could speak something like some stupid amount of languages. I think I really don't want to butcher, but it was like over 50 languages.
Yeah, right.
Apparently he had 3 lungs. So everything about that individual was just hyped up. Like it would make a human look futile trying to compete one-on-one.
Yeah, word. So I guess that I understand now why you say you believe in aliens.
Yeah. Apparently these individuals did their time and then left. Were able to leave.
Word.
That was the deal.
Like they made a deal with the government that the government would help them.
No, the government said you leave once you do X amount of work with us.
They like had captured them.
Basically.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's crazy.
But anyways, we don't have to go to it.
Yeah.
So round number 2. What do we got?
Well, I guess that kind of feeds into my next question. So
wait, no question first.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
So we're talking. You got Sky Valley hot sauce. This one is basically actually they're all, but Sky Valley hot sauce. I'm gonna do a couple of dabs of these. This is a chili de arbol. Is the it's the chili that's making it spicy.
More?
No, that's great. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. I guess go for it. You tell me number 2.
All right. So number 2, is the government lying about the space program, about the U.S. capabilities, and about aliens if they have visited us or not, and like including Area 51, the Roswell stuff, like cover-ups. What's your view on all that?
Yeah. Also delicious. So far not too bad. I'm doing all right. It's a little perspiration, but I mean, I gotta be honest, man. Look at how all of the governments, but primarily all of the most powerful ones, look at how they all operate. It's all based on compartmentalization and secrecy. That's how they're even able to pull off half of these stunts. And so if you actually think that something as wild and crucial and empowering, which would be having the knowledge to know that certain species are out there, or that we're actually communicating, or that we're actually doing whatever, that's information. Once again, information is power. Knowledge is power. And unfortunately, I don't want to admit it, but the human race has been known to want to keep it to themselves whenever they get it, to just keep the separation between the masses. I don't personally agree with it. I think it's the type of subject that should be discussed with a crystal clear perspective. I mean, I get it. It's like,
why do you think they cover it up, or why do you think they don't share what's really going on?
Well, I mean, it's like that question, right? People are like, well, I mean, so where are they? Where are these aliens? I don't see them. And I'm like, well, you haven't seen 3/4 of the animals in the world.
Yeah, well, at least.
Exactly. Yeah. And you get what I'm saying? Yeah. The amount of life that most humans haven't even seen during their life is staggering. So for you to have the audacity to be like, well, I haven't seen any aliens. You haven't seen any aliens? I'm like, dude, I haven't seen the majority of the beings on this planet.
Yeah, we're in.
And so for people to have that kind of like, if it's not mainstream news, it's not true. That's basically what the perspective is from that person coming through.
Yeah, word.
And
there's even been UFO stuff on the mainstream
news. That's my
recently,
point.
Which
that's
is like people. Everyone. Like, anytime I say that, people are like, "Wait,
yeah,
what?"
Dude, it's gotten to the point.
This was on NBC or
yeah.
MSNBC.
Many news stations around the world have covered a real sighting, which were like, we don't know what this is, and we really need to figure it out because our military is really not aware of this. Mm-hmm. And so, and then some really weird stuff all around the world, and continuously for years, every year, and it gets more and more and more and more as far as encounters, sightings, and that type of stuff. And so, to answer your question, I mean, I really don't think at all that if the American government, as a matter of fact, I think the American government would probably partner up with all the top governments, like Russia, China, and whatever, and team up, utilize resources to go into outer space and start doing all kinds of missions. Because to me, that's sort of what makes sense, right? When you go into outer planes from the Earth, you would sort of be in a position where you're probably gonna have to partner up.
Yeah, you want as much help as you
need as much help as you.
Do you think that's happening already? Do you think?
I do.
Right.
And here's the thing where we can tie it back in. Why they wouldn't tell us is, well, we have already invested trillions and God knows how much money into keeping nations separated and hating on each other, and the Chinese flu and race and this and that. You lose money. You lose your business. You lose your whole system that you're building that we're so deep in at this point.
Based on separation.
Exactly. It's based on separation. So if we were to find out that the United States is actually working with China in outer space,
or Mexico,
and here on actual Earth, we're literally hating on each other.
Right.
That would make zero sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and how I guess why?
So I guess in one thing's for sure. Truths as big as these, you can't keep them out for too long. If something's really happening, it's just a matter of time until it becomes, I wouldn't say blatantly obvious, but enough people are starting to sort of be like, okay, there's something going on.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing is, to me, is that the truth will come out and people hear about it, and then it just gets like brushed over. It's like like the Mexican government coming out and like releasing
literally
footage
talking
and
about
saying, we've had contact with UFOs like multiple times, like dozens of times, and then
Brazil has stories of UFOs going right over, hovering over certain cities, and just start shooting at people. What? And people just, I'm not fucking with you, dude.
What?
I mean, these are real stories, like articles that were written, and 40, 50 people who actually got injured and all had the same problem radiation-wise. And so I'm like, okay.
That's nuts.
And this is happening all over the world, but nobody pays attention to it.
Well, it's funny. I did see like a UFO video from Michigan last year that like right around the time the lockdown started, like March.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There was like just a ton of crazy lights in the sky. I mean, I've seen like random lights in the sky, but I've never, I don't know.
But yeah. So I really, because here's the thing. How are you going to explain to your country that we're out there doing intergalactic missions and there's people living on the streets with no home, no housing, and barely struggling to get like a life on Earth going?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense, right? You're like, we're just so spread apart as a civilization.
Which is my view. I'm like, why don't we take care of the people at home first, before we go? And like, we've got like nuclear weapons and stuff. Like, anyone else out there doesn't want us getting outside of our planet. We can't even fucking be peaceful at home. We're gonna go.
That's
out,
what I'm saying.
We encounter someone else, we're probably fucking just shoot a
guns blazing. Yeah, guns blazing, and now you're out in solar system. Yeah, just
so
wild west.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to mature, like as a people, as a human race. Yeah, to before we're ready for that.
So I think the secrecy is too much, and I think we enjoy holding on to information that makes us powerful, as human beings as a whole, and I think because of that, we are so deep in the whole covering up. And so I actually don't. I think things like NASA are actually just here to keep us entertained.
Word. Yeah. What about SpaceX?
So for these private companies, they're actually trying to crack the code.
Right.
They're and not to say that the people working on NASA are not trying to. Here's the crazy paradigm for this. Yeah, no, this is crazy because it's a difficult one because I actually got to listen to a actual astronaut. She was the first astronaut, African-American woman for NASA, and she was speaking at a convention that I was working at. And she was one of the guests speaking. And so everything that she said, according to her own personal experience working in NASA, would go against everything I've just said for the last 10 minutes. Right? And she's the professional in the situation, right?
Yeah. So how do you explain that?
The same way that I explain how most doctors don't actually know how to actually heal you. Western medicine has been taught incorrectly. Same way that outer space has been kept from the actual physics in which we are now living in, and we know about this, but we're starting to find out that there's different rules outside.
So your analogy, you're saying like people who kind of are behind the medical industry or like really have like the knowledge exists to really help people, but the way Western medicine is carried out, it doesn't.
It's highly ineffective.
Yeah, it's not actually intended to heal people.
Highly ineffective. Let me give you an example. I actually witnessed an actual rocket launch in Florida from NASA. And we are told that this is going to be a situation where they're going to launch this craft. It's going to orbit around a asteroid, I guess is what they said, and pick up minerals and then come back around and do its thing, its orbit. Sounds pretty impressive. We all get there. It looked like your typical sort of a baseball game gathering. Everybody's just showing up and just grabbing their hot dogs and their soda and their chips and, you know, sitting on the grass, ready to experience the show. And we get there. Way far is where the launch is happening. Dude, this thing looked ancient. Ancient. The ship.
Yeah, word.
To the point where it had like patches, kind of like a baseball mitten when you fix a rip. Like it looked like a 1991 Honda Civic that you just been beating up that thing for, you know, since your first freshman year. And so for me to think that something as important as space travel has not been getting advanced on a yearly basis, just like how your cell phone does. Right. You know, I find that highly improbable. And I know these things are expensive and I know they're hard to build. Fully understand that. But something as important as this topic, you don't just leave that shit to get outdated. You put your top money, which we do, we just don't talk about it because those things are in the black operations.
Yeah, word.
That's where all this, you know, how can you account for trillions of dollars in the American spending budget just disappearing? Where is that money going to?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know anything.
I have an idea.
But yeah, I mean, I could imagine it wouldn't be that difficult to, you know, if you're in charge of everything.
Trillions for unaccounted?
But yeah, I don't really know.
But there you go. That's mine on that one. You still have yours, right?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So number 2 for you. Would you propose that, since we know there's all these different religions in this world, and every person thinks that they have the God that they pick that's gonna take them to the place that they have, I don't say subscribe to, but they have faith in.
Yeah, if they subscribe to it. Really.
Correct. Yeah. Anyways. Do you think that perhaps an idea would be that these gods representing different religions or actually more entail aliens by people's definitions who don't actually subscribe to religions?
That's a great question. I actually am of the mind that when higher dimensional beings are talked about or you know, people talk about aliens, it's like, you know, they could be aliens under someone's perspective, or angels under another perspective, or gods under another perspective. So like the gods from, you know, like ancient like Viking tradition, like Thor and Odin, I believe, yeah, they probably were actual beings, or like the Anunnaki gods, like Enki and Enoch.
Yeah.
That? Yeah. Yeah, and like Shiva and Horus and Osiris, and like, yeah, I believe those probably were, you know, what we would now consider aliens, but, you know, probably higher dimensional beings that came here mostly for like you know, positive reasons and like benevolent purposes, but I think some were probably self-serving entities who came here just to, you know, like do their own thing and like basically manipulate the situation here, the people that were already here to benefit themselves. So yeah, I mean, I think that that's actually one of the things that's most interesting to me about different religions is like where how we we think we're so smart in these modern times, and like we see these we get these ancient texts with the traditions of ancient people, and they talk about these beings coming from the sky that we either call angels or gods.
They always come from the sky.
Yeah, and then we were just like, oh, yeah, like everything, we respect the rest of their tradition. They're like crazy architecture, and like, I mean, that's one of the things that shows me that there have been higher dimensional or more intelligence beings here. Like, the pyramids. Yeah. I believe the pyramids were partly directly built by essentially aliens, if you want to call them that, but higher dimensional beings. I don't think they're still here on the planet, but I think they did come here. And actually that comes from I've read a number of books on like esoteric science and, religion and philosophy and spirituality. And one of the craziest book series I've read is The Law of One. Is basically a channeled series by a group of people that was channeled in the 80s from like 1981 to 1984. Yep. They did 105 sessions where Carla Rucker, would basically go into a state of a trance, like deep meditation. And she would channel Ra, this entity from Venus, and they actually apparently don't live on Venus anymore, but
everybody's coming from Venus, man. Everybody's coming from Venus.
It's actually what's funny in that they say any beings who have come here recently from Venus aren't actually from Venus, either that or their thought forms, but that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, wait, what was the question?
I think we should move forward because we're only in like number 3.
All right, so cool.
And we're halfway through the episode.
I believe that, some of the gods talked about in ancient texts were actually, beings that came here from other planets or other places in the universe, or even other dimensions or other universes. Okay. So question number 3, we're just going straight up Sriracha. This one.
Yep. Let's turn this up.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been going a little soft here. I'm actually not. There we go.
And Sriracha is actually not really that spicy. This one's number 3.
I say let's just have number 3 right here. Boom.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, that actually is kind of spicy.
We're getting there now. Number 4. Should we just go number 4 sauce?
Yeah, that actually was kind of spicy. Number 4 is gochujang.
Can you give us a little more background?
Gochujang's a Korean chili sauce.
Korean, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of sweet. All right.
Okay, so you're going to ask
me. We kind of actually answered some of this. So, do you think that, we've already asked this, yeah. Do you think the government has UFO technology or alien technology? And do you think it's infiltrated itself into mainstream society? Do you think, some of the modern inventions come from aliens or alien technology that we discovered and maybe reverse engineered?
Yeah. Starting to get hot now. Starting to sweat now. Shoot. Got my sinuses coming in.
Yeah, the gochujang and the sriracha actually got me a little more than I expected. I haven't done the gochujang yet.
Well, the information I've come across is, I think it was in the 70s, I believe, or the late 60s or 70s, which was things like radar, lasers, microwave technology, LEDs. Those are all different things that we actually took from spacecrafts that supposedly crashed on Earth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so they crashed it. We retrieved it as the government, or a person got there first, but then the government showed up right after and basically just muscled them right out and took over, and ravaged through the ships in different situations. Sometimes they weren't able to get in because it was such a weird type of
Technology.
yeah, technology. It would take them weeks, months to try to crack the coding, just how to open it. And oftentimes these ships, the ones that crashed, when the people who were involved with the pickup crew, I mean, they were part of the pickup crew to pick up the stuff and put it onto the truck, describe these ships almost as like being alive, almost as like being organic. And so if some of them actually described it as having consciousness into the actual ship itself. But as far as the technology that we're using, I believe the stuff that I just said, those type of technologies have been slowly but surely let out. You get different, nicer versions every year. But all the nice stuff, all the other stuff that... oh, man. My mouth is sweating right now.
Yeah,
I can't even talk.
Got me a little bit.
Like night vision apparently was also one of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, night vision. And so there's probably plenty more that I don't know about. But these are technologies that apparently we took straight out of a alien ship.
So the government, developed it, and then do they release it as military technology, or like how do they?
Well, yeah, in some cases they assign it like a person that's the pawn, that's the person who created it, quotation marks.
What?
Just kind of like the whole idea with Bitcoin and how the Asian created Bitcoin. Yeah, like nobody knows he is, nobody's seen it, there's no pictures of this guy, there's nothing. But apparently he made it. Like stuff like that. And people find out about it, the ones that really look into it, but then most people just don't care enough. They don't care enough to look into the paperwork, look at all the different patents. Dude, the amount, if you just spend some time looking at patents, your eyebrow has to go up. Because you'll see the people in the organizations who are going after the weirdest patents. And you have to ask yourself, why are you trying to make this?
Yeah. So, I mean, part of, under that, I mean, I get some pretty crazy inspiration sometimes. It's, the most random. I actually believe, we receive information from, I don't know if you want to call them aliens, but, other dimensional beings, whether it's here or in another physical place, but giving us information in order to help us create... invent things that will help humanity, essentially.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you mine then.
All right.
Have at it.
Number 3, Goju Jang.
It's actually number 4 now.
Number 4.
We skip number 3 to keep it moving. Okay, so have you ever had an alien encounter? And that can be kind of broad, meaning outer beings, energy-wise, or an actual being that you saw, anything.
So, with a specific being, not necessarily. I've had quite a few experiences where I've gone to the inner planes and met with my spirit guides.
This is mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
your soul went there.
Yeah. My consciousness went there. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. I guess mental or depending on how you look at it. But yeah. But I have had quite a few experiences recently where I'll be meditating, and a lot of times when I'm going to bed and I keep getting either images or words or usually weird kind of words will come through, but it's mostly I'll just get positive feelings of people, someone wishing me well or sending me just good vibes. I mean, I feel that a lot, but yeah, I've never seen what I consider to be an alien, or at least not. Not in this incarnation. I have had a past life regression that was pretty dope. Actually, was on another planet, but
Nice.
And yeah, I was an alien. Oh, considering, I mean,
I'm gonna do that. My next question to you.
yeah.
Remind me that so we can wrap back around on that.
But yeah, to bring it back, I haven't in this like me where I've had like a physical experience with another being that I thought was an alien. No.
Okay. Dude, my head is pulsating right now.
No, yeah.
And like the headphones, they just feel like they feel so much different than the regular episodes. Because right now it feels like it's so warm around my ears.
Yeah, we're
Damn hot sauce.
yeah. All right, so number 5, we're moving on to Frank's Red Hot. This is it's the standard for hot wings, so we got it in the middle. But since we're not mixing it with butter like they normally do on hot wings, it's gonna be extra spicy. So
Give it to me.
yeah, I love Frank's Red Hot. It's probably the hot sauce I use most often. I think it's one of the most universal. But all right, so do you think you've seen a UFO or alien or had an experience with either another dimensional being or something that you just couldn't explain, where you thought this wasn't human or wasn't from Earth?
Yeah. 2 times.
Where?
Damn. My ears are sweating. So first time was actually a UFO encounter. And I was living in Tequila, hanging out on my backyard, looking at the stars. And from my yard, I could see downtown Seattle. I kid you not, I look over at the city skyline, and what do I see? A hovering craft just right to the left of downtown Seattle, just right above Seattle. I go into my house, call my roommates out. 2 of them come out, see the same thing. So I know I'm not tripping. Like, I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And so It was not an airplane because it was not moving. It was actually moving, but it was moving in a way that airplanes don't, because it was going back and forth and kind of hovering. It obviously was not a helicopter because it didn't have a helicopter shape. So whatever it was, if it was an alien being, or alien race in charge of it, or if it was our own government, I don't know what was going on. But your boy actually started running down the street so I could try to get closer and get a better look at it. And at this point, it then starts to just go back towards the water, and it starts to disappear. The circle gets tinier and tinier and tinier, and then disappears. And so I actually remember recording that with my crappy phone at the time. And literally all you can see is this yellow orb-ish, just sort of hovering, kind of going back and forth. And us literally just looking at it like, dude, what is that? Like, for real, like, what is that? Nobody could say anything outside that, like, falls under the UFO category, I guess. I mean, the United States government isn't coming out forward talking about it, so you can only put guesses out there. So that was the first one.
What was the other one? Yeah.
Second one, oh man, I don't know if I told this one out before, but I was trying this. I forget what the name was. It's this plant, this liquid taken from a cactus. It's supposed to be kind of like ayahuasca.
Peyote?
Yes. And this one specifically is supposed to have you connect with higher realms, just like a lot of the other psychedelics do. But in this one, at one point in my experience, I've witnessed what has been described as a gray alien. And I mean, this description, I've heard it from probably, I want to say over 50 different people from the research and in real life. And it was exactly what I saw. And in many cases, people have said that you're only able to see these types of beings when you are in a certain frequency.
So you don't think you were hallucinating? You think you were actually seeing it?
Well, in this situation, it'd be easy for someone to be like, "Oh yeah, dude, you tripping balls, like you just." Right. But I gotta be honest, like this wasn't a circumstance where, like, I was out in nature with several other people doing their own thing. Super calming, super safe. It was not. I've tripped before in that way that you're talking about. That's how I know these things were different.
Yeah.
Now it is a weird one because as soon as you say that you're trying some psychedelic, as you know, half of the people are gonna write you off from that situation.
At least half of people write you off. But I mean, it's like it really could. Like, you know, we only perceive like light and, you know, like this small frequency of light. You know, it's like like 99% of stimulus and like of what's actually happening, like we can't even perceive.
Can't even see it.
Yeah, maybe that like opened up your third eye or something.
Like I basically I channeled into a certain frequency that I wasn't normally on or ever, and that was the frequency that thing was on.
Word. Yeah, that's crazy.
So, anyways, your turn.
Word. All right, Frank's Red Hot.
Frank's Red Hot. Favorite alien movie?
Probably. Ooh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of really good ones.
We have a lot of good ones. A lot of crappy ones too.
I know. Oh, so many bad ones. Yeah. So back in the day, one of my favorite movies of all time, or like when I was a kid, when I saw it at the time, my favorite movie was Predator 2.
Hey.
And yeah, I remember I was like too young to really watch it, but my dad let me watch it anyway. I was like 5 or 6 or something like that. That and Terminator 2, but that and then Independence Day when it came out. Me and my friend Mike, like we would watch, you know, movies when they come out. I remember it came out on like 4th of July, but yeah, that was my favorite movie for the longest. But yeah, I don't know. Prometheus I thought was super dope.
Prometheus was dope.
So yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones. I would say those, you know, not necessarily like all. And then Men in Black. What's super crazy about Men in Black is Men in Black are talked about in The Law of One, which was channeled in like between 1981 and 1984.
But it's referenced that it's not.
They're apparently like thought forms, but they're beings who like they're not actual people, but they're like they go out and carry out missions basically for this group called the Orion Group, which I
actually heard that the representation of Men in Black was not accurate to how it actually is.
Oh yeah, apparently
like it was super Hollywooded up, obviously.
Apparently the Men in Black are like scary as fuck. Like if they show up on your door, that's like the scariest. Like
we could touch on that real quick if you want.
So, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's jump to the next one.
Yeah, so Cholula, this one again is not like the hottest.
Wait a second, we're past that because I only have 4. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5?
Yeah, I got 5.
Okay, you got an extra one? Throw me an extra one. I guess I've been eating mine without telling people. You just give me the little one too. I'll just eat that too.
Oh yeah. Man.
And what? All right, dab me up. So for this one, what we got here?
Alright, we're gonna actually change it up. I feel like we're not really getting spicy enough.
We're not, dude. So honestly, I feel like I'm getting slightly there. I need to
jump
turn
into
it
the
up.
habanero. This one is the Humboldt Hot Sauce Habanero Mango OG.
Turn it up.
And this one is quite spicy. So
turn it up.
That. Yeah. Jeez. My God. Not looking forward to that. All right, so do you think there are aliens on Earth? And if so, do you think they've infiltrated the government?
Well, I guess I kind of answered that on the second time around with her.
Well, so you did say they were captured by the government, but you didn't necessarily say they've infiltrated the government.
Infiltrated, yeah. Okay. So, I guess what do we got? Like our typical famous ones. I can't even think straight right now, yo. The reptilian race.
Oh yeah, Draco. Reptilians. Would you like some walnut milk? It's pretty good, man.
I'll give it a slight try.
So this is Elmhurst walnut milk. It's delicious.
See, I don't like to drink any type of milk, even if it's not non-dairy by itself. I find it to be, it's just gotta go with something, you know?
Yeah, we're in like cookies.
Yeah,
At
least
brought
like,
some of those golden milk cookies.
some choco monkeys or something, you know? But, sorry, so have they infiltrated?
Yeah, infiltrated the government and are like operating.
Yo, the reptilian one is a crazy one because in a way it's like the most ridiculous one, and it's also got one that's got the most amount of information about it. Let me share something.
So can you give a little background about
the
reptilian?
For those who are not familiar with the reptilian race, this apparently was a race that evolved from dinosaurs. And when dinosaurs had to deal with the meteor that struck Earth and took out almost all of them, apparently there was a couple different races that had their living situations and escaped underground, survived the point where Earth was just basically no good, only to then recreate themselves underground and build themselves into their new way of living, / still trying to find ways to come back up on Earth to take over. Now, it gets kind of crazy at this point because when you look it up, other than the fact that like Google has suppressed a lot of this type of information now recently in the last few years, meaning it's even hard to get around some of this stuff unless you really dig through it. You'll find a bunch of people shitting on the ideas, but you won't find they've made it so much harder for you to find the people who actually say they've done the research, put forward their information, and be like, you do the job, you make your call after you hear the facts. Long story short, the royal family from England is habitually tied with this race. And so the idea goes, or the story, is that these are actually shape-shifting reptilians who shape-shift in and out of being a reptilian and, in this situation, the Queen of England. Now, you would say, this is ridiculous. I would say, have you seen the Queen of England?
Yeah, she seems nice.
Abysmal. She literally looks like a lizard walking around. Let's be real.
I think she. I actually saw her. She made a COVID statement. I thought she's awesome. Actually, I've seen the. I actually really like the Queen of England.
Well, that aside,
she's also got that series on Netflix.
I would like to say that when I went to England myself, we were doing a little showcase of the area. And we went to the palace, the royal palace, in which in one of the main entrances there's a huge roundabout with a big statue, sort of pyramid type structure, and it's essentially a four-sided structure with different people who were in the English royalty, and Queen Elizabeth. And then you got some other ones, and then you have some additional pillars that go up, and you have like angels stuff above them, and it goes all the way up until it stops. like a Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing's made out of some type of rock, so it's got a gray color to it. Except for one thing. Queen Elizabeth, which I believe she's sitting at the very bottom, facing north, has her palms open, or just one of them, her left one. And guess what's in her left palm? A gold lizard.
Wow. Have you looked up what it means?
I know what it means. It means what I just said before this, which is in this perspective, it's why would there be a gold lizard, and that's the only thing that's gold color on the entire structure?
Yeah.
And it's in her left hand.
Ooh, yeah. That's interesting.
I'm just saying, if anybody got an answer for me as to why that's there, and it's not because there's some weird stuff to talk about, I want to hear your explanation as to why that lizard is there, and it's not because of reptilian race. Right. What? It's her pet.
Yeah,
and they made it gold. Get out of here. It would have been rock too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It would have been rock too.
I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, but
the essence of gold stands for royalty. The color gold is equal to royalty. Mm-hmm. They are all royalty, but they're all in rock. The only thing that's gold is the one thing that's obscure and weird as shit. Nobody can figure out as to why it's really there.
Yeah, wow. That's
the symbolism is out of control.
Crazy. Yeah.
Anyways.
Word.
Yes. I'm gonna go with a yes.
Yeah, word.
I could go into this topic for a little while, but there's a lot of weird stuff coming out of the royal family. There's a lot of weird stuff that
I mean, they are in the tabloids a lot, but I don't.
Nah, they're in the tabloids about dumb pop stuff to keep people like reading it. I'm talking about the stuff that like you have to dig through on the back end that think people, entities like Google will be like, oh no, fake information, kind of like what anything you do nowadays about COVID.
Yeah, word.
If they don't think it's true, but the information hasn't gone to the mainstream, you're labeled as conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, word. Yeah.
So okay, all
right.
Where are we at here?
We're at the number 5, 6. Yeah, mango.
Are you a flat earther? Do you believe the world is flat?
That one's really tasty.
My tongue is sweating.
Yeah, pretty spicy. Yeah, this one really got my tongue. Flat Earth, no, the Earth is round. It's clearly, I mean, I don't know if it's I don't think it's perfectly round. I think it's a little lumpy, but yeah, it's definitely round. If you like watch, I mean, go on NASA.com or go look at videos from the space station. Like, you can see the Earth is round. I mean, go in a fucking air balloon. Like, look around. Go on a plane. Like, look in the horizon. There's a curve to the Earth. Like, the Earth is round.
Yeah. Okay, word. I agree. Next hot.
All right. So this one is Melinda's extra hot pepper sauce, original habanero.
Come on, Melinda.
So.
Come on, Melinda.
Yep. This one's coming out slow, so it must be extra hot. Yeah, that one's like bright orange. Habanero.
Alright.
Okay, so related to the last one, the cabal, or the secret government that supposedly exists, or the deep state, if by conspiracy theorists, if you know, whether you believe, I mean, I think we both believe that there's a secret government. So, I mean, that's a preference to this. Do you believe that it's secretly run by aliens, like the cabal? the people who are really in charge, is it really like an alien group or an alien race? Like, is it the Draco reptilians? Are they the ones really? Are they at battle with the cabal? What's how does that relate to aliens?
That's a tough one because I feel like the word cabal gets dropped in many different, like it's kind of like a general term, like these people who are ruling, but it never gets put like an actual. I guess some of the major families have been thrown into the mix.
Yeah,
like
the major
the
banking
Chase
families.
family.
Yeah.
What else we got? The
Rothschilds.
Rothschilds
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Rockefellers.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there's something to be said about that, which is some of these families got really, really wealthy off of certain things that are no longer beneficial to the world, like oil, like
Steel.
yeah. I mean, all kinds of things
Weapons.
that
A lot from weapons.
a lot, yeah, like weapons, certain types of manufacturing for foods, and so it's not only not beneficial in certain ways to upgrade things, but it goes back to what I said before, power. You know, a lot of these families came out on top many decades ago, centuries, over a century in some cases.
Yeah, or centuries. Yeah, depending
on the family.
Yeah.
And so, at the end of the day, do I think they are themselves dealing directly with alien species? Well, I would say if anybody is, as far as human beings, and they got an in with a species that is trying to, let's think about it like this. Let's just say you're an alien species and you're going into a different world. Explore, make contact, whatever. You're most likely going to get picked up by the infrastructure of the people who have the best resources in that planet.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so those would be the people, the families that we just talked about. The billionaires and the trillionaires of the world that you don't even know about.
Yeah, word.
You know what I mean? And we know some of the billionaires, but I believe there's trillionaires out there that we don't know about.
Word.
And those are the people that they know for a fact that they're not supposed to be as known as someone like Jeff Bezos. Because if people knew how they made the vast majority of their money, it would go totally against the vast majority of the United States rules on Earth. You know what I mean? Because we don't even have rules for jurisdiction. Just like how we don't have enough jurisdiction in some of the how to make money online business because it's so new. Think about doing business outside Earth.
Yeah, word.
They definitely don't got rules for that.
Yeah. Right.
Anyways,
cool.
Your turn.
All right.
Okay, so
Going with the habanero.
Has the moon always been orbiting Earth, or has it been placed there artificially?
Let's look into it. All right. So, according to Rudolf Steiner, the Earth and the Moon used to be joined. They also used to be joined with the Sun. And so, when the universe or when our solar system was created, it was originally all the planets were part of the Sun, and there was an event that basically split off the Earth and the Moon, and the other planets, and then there was another event that split the Earth from the Earth and the Moon from each other. So I think so that's Rudolf Steiner. And if you, I think on Spirit Science, they say that the moon was like used as like a spaceship from Mars, either from Mars or from Maldek. Maldek was supposedly a planet that existed in between Mars and Jupiter and was destroyed by a nuclear explosion or an asteroid, depending on
Whose story you're listening
Yeah,
to?
whose story. And so I think out listening to all the different stories, I think the moon was actually a remnant from the explosion from the planet Maldek, or I mean, there's other names for it as well. I think that same explosion actually is what knocked out the atmosphere on Mars, and so I think the moon is actually a projectile from that explosion.
Okay.
So I think it was placed there artificially, but not necessarily on purpose. I think it was a result from that explosion when Maldek was destroyed, and it was basically one of the bigger pieces of that planet that got trapped in Earth's orbit as it was passing by. So
Damn.
that I know that was
No,
far out there.
I mean that was like, I mean, I'll take it.
word.
I'll take it.
All right.
So what are we messing with here next?
Cool. So next we're on to Arizona Peppers Organic Harvest Foods Organic Habanero Sauce. This one, from my memory, is quite.
Let's go. Come on.
Got a little splatter on that one. Nice.
My teeth are
Yeah, my sinuses are clear.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, my stomach's actually feeling really good. What's funny is hot sauce a lot of times actually settles my stomach.
Okay, well, here we go.
All right. Do you think
Oh boy.
that humans from our modern government have been to Mars or any other planets besides Earth that's not the moon? And if not, do you or do you also think we'll go there? I mean, as far as like SpaceX goes, or people trying to get to Mars, do you think that we either have been or will go to Mars?
Yeah. Dude, I am sweating balls right now.
Yeah, how was that Pacific harvest? Is that super spicy?
It's delicious, but I'm just like, I'm sweating everywhere right now. My teeth are sweating. Let me just blow my nose right on the mic. Okay, wow. Sorry, you asked me about if we've been outside of other planets that are not the moon.
Have we been to Mars? Will we go to Mars? Or
Just
Venus
Mars?
or other planets?
Okay, yeah.
Like actual people, not just unmanned missions.
Okay.
Because
Okay, got it. Like,
in terms of
Yeah.
if the government is keeping stuff from us, you know, have they actually already gone and they're just like not telling us?
well, I feel like this is a tough answer to give you because if you automatically just believe what the media tells you, everything I'm about to say is going to sound absolute batshit crazy. Now, hang in there with me. Wow. I'm trying to hang in there with myself. So
Your breath is like making your eyes water.
Yo, dude, this is crazy. I am trying really hard to focus right now, and I'm sounding like an idiot. So here's the thing. Going back to technology ramping up as quickly as it does just here on Earth, and how important it is to figure out our destiny outside of the Earth. And so for me to think that, what was it, in the 70s we went to the moon?
80s?
Is that what it was?
Was it? I think it was 80s. I don't know.
So you're telling me...
Wait, no. Yeah,
you're
was
telling...
it the 60s?
It was, I think it's in the 70s.
Okay, weird. Sorry.
And either way, we can get fact checks, subscribers right in the comments. I can't think straight right now.
That's kind of
So,
embarrassing.
long story short, we've done that 50 years ago. You're telling me we can't go to Mars? Now, I understand that we have companies that are really trying to push and they're really doing great things like SpaceX and whatnot. And I'm all for that. And I think that they really are trying to do their best and push the boundaries. But even them, what is it, Jeff Bezos' company and Elon Musk's company, it's going to get to a point where they're gonna find out some stuff. And when they find out this certain type of information, they won't be able to release all of it to us. They'll share back and forth with the government. And then the deal will come out as to what they can allow to get out for the rest of us. Because a lot of these companies know that if you get ahead of what the government's willing to let you tell them, the public, you're now an issue. Whoa, I can't talk.
So, like, what, you think they'll find, like, information about, like, aliens or what?
Yeah, call it. I mean, get contact by another race, see another race, find out information that kind of puts things in perspective here on Earth, like that you've been getting lied to, all kinds of things. And so when you look in that perspective, I mean, here's the thing. When you lead any company, you'll find out that even at the smallest level, there's compartmentalization of information. At the smallest level. You know? And so for me to think that people that are dealing with space-related things aren't doing that to the fullest, you must be crazy. I mean, I'm sorry. The fact that people think that this information is actually getting willy-nilly disclosed to them as soon as it gets found out is hilarious to me. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious. People really think that, like, we've been treating each other like that. So, I don't know. I can't think straight right now. Like, I'm sweating balls. I think it's your turn.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Habanero hot sauce.
Do you think listening to podcasts would be something that alien races do as well? And what about listening to music? Oh. Ooh. Oh, yeah, dude, that one is...
Oh.
Welcome to the club. You're going for a ride, dude. You're going for a ride, my guy. Oh. Yeah, because we're in. Okay, let's keep it going. One camera down. Are we switching? Get the memory card? My camera ran out too. Okay. Let's just go off on one camera. You come on this side. Okay, let's do this. What are we at here? Oh, your turn, right?
No, I just went.
Did you answer?
The next hot sauce.
Okay. What do we got here?
It's the Yeah Boy.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we got the Yeah Boy habanero hot sauce. This is a local Seattle hot sauce my friend Chris makes.
Let's go, Chris. Hit me up. Boom.
All right.
Think it's enough?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, I guess go for it. Ask away. Oh boy.
So,
oh boy.
What's your view on ghosts possessions. Do you think people can be possessed? Do you think you've seen anyone or known anyone who's been possessed? And also with channeling, do you think aliens are able to either possess someone or to channel their consciousness here to like communicate? Oh,
What? You still gotta eat yours later.
yeah.
There's 2, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is that the question?
Yeah, I think I skipped mine actually, but sorry.
Is that the question?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm on like planet.
I messed up. I was supposed to answer your question. Your question was,
My question was, let's see here. Oh yeah, do you think listening to podcasts would be something alien races do as well? What about listening to music?
yeah. So, excuse me. I think that aliens do listen to podcasts and music. I think whenever we're doing something, I think that aliens or other beings on other planets would be able to tune into it, basically like through like remote viewing or like projecting their consciousness, so they could essentially watch what's going on Earth, in like TV.
Okay.
So if I think artists, when they put out music on Earth, I think it goes out and is perceived by other beings in the universe.
So they can check. They can hop on our Wi-Fi.
Kind of, yeah. Without. I mean, with
tune in on
either
top
their
40
devices or or their minds. Yeah. I mean, hey, why not?
Oh fuck. Okay, word. So did you figure that out? Did you eat what you're supposed to?
Yeah, that was my last one that I ate. So you just ate one. My question for you is, do you believe in ghosts?
Do I have to put something in this?
Your last one you didn't answer. I messed up. So I'm just asking you a question.
Going back to what you're saying about being possessed and whatnot, I watched documentary on the Night Stalker. Are you familiar with that? Mm-mm. Wow, I can't even. A serial killer killed many, many, many people. You see footage of him talking and just him and his eyes. You know he's possessed. You know something happened to him where some sort of being fused with this person's consciousness and just took over. Something happened because you experience pure evil. Now, I'm not sure what category to pick that into. My eyes are sweating. Shit. But I can say this. I've seen a lot of footage of windows just getting opened for no reason. And like heavy objects is getting thrown across the room. So if you can explain that, oh my goodness. I don't know what to tell you, but if you can explain that with some reasonable scientific reason, I'll listen. But for the most part, people can't. Oh fuck. It's your turn, dude. Your turn.
All right.
Holy crap!
Number 9. This is the Yeah Boy habanero hot sauce.
Woo. Okay. Why are humans so interested in the topic of aliens?
I think humans are so interested in aliens because there's so much going on this planet, but there's so, like, if you look out and you see the stars, like you can't can't help but imagine that there's other planets, you know, kind of like this one, where there's other beings. And so yeah, I mean, it's just super interesting. It's like why, you know, it's similar to when people's interacting. You know, it's like if you think there's, you know, other people to trade with, or I mean, we could share technology, we could, you know, trade, we could, you know, help each other. Hopefully, not, you know, get in conflicts. I mean, you know, in human nature, it's like I see us being aggressive, you know, if or misinterpreting a situation and just like, you know, nuking some other race. But yeah, I mean, I think just people just like can't, you know, people are just interested in
Oh man.
life, you know, life out there, or you know, what's out there. It's like, you know, as soon as you look up, you see a lot. You wonder.
Amen to that.
Right.
Amen to that. This is the last one. Let's get it.
All right,
Let's
so
get this.
we're doing the Marie Sharps Beware Comatose Heat Level Habanero Pepper Sauce. This also has straight up capsicum in it, so it's ridiculous.
So I saw it has, you know how there's triple X?
This one's 5X.
That's 5X. Dude, you know when your teeth, you know when you eat ice cream and it freezes your teeth and it hurts? I'm getting the same effect, but when it gets, like the tip of my teeth are going off right now. Is that, you getting that?
I feel like, yeah.
Holy
my gums
crap.
Too, yeah. Like every part of my mouth is just fucking burning.
Okay, go. Your turn.
Do you think when we do contact aliens, or when it is disclosed that we have been in contact with aliens, do you think it'll be in terms of like there's a race coming here to fight with us? Do you think like our first public contact with aliens will be a conflict?
I think the first contact with aliens that will be conflict will be staged by our own government.
As a way to like manipulate people?
Yeah. I think races have already tried to peacefully interact with us, and our government basically said that it's not going to go down like that. And so I think the scenario that you're talking about will happen, but when it does happen, it won't be an actual alien race. It'll be us portraying to be an alien race so we can essentially manipulate our own people.
That actually does sound a lot like us.
We are. Yeah.
Oh man, that hurt.
Dude, this is unreal. Okay, I'm gonna finish off with you.
All right,
You talked about past life regressions and how you actually were an alien in a different life. Tell me a little bit about that.
Holy shit.
Great.
This one actually tastes really good.
It tastes great, but you're gonna start sweating like you've been running a marathon.
Yeah, walnut milk's actually helping a lot.
All right, you got this.
Okay. So past life regression. I actually recently had a past life regression session with a woman named Wendy Williams. She's super awesome. She does hypnotic regression therapy and like energy healing as well. And she actually has a podcast. I'm hoping to get her as a guest on our podcast. Yeah, actually, I already asked her. She said she'd be down.
Nice.
So I had a past life regression. I'm, just been interested in it. My favorite author is actually Dolores Cannon, who was a past life regression therapist. And she's written some incredible books, like my favorite book series, The Convoluted Universe, that talks about aliens and like Atlantis and all types of different races and like different beings coming here to help us and like basically people going through past life regressions where they either were an alien or sometimes even going into the future where they're like a human but like in space. But anyway. So I've just been super interested in the topic for a while. So I went to, I had a session with Wendy, and she regressed me to a life where I basically stepped out, into this past memory of, of a life that I had lived. And so I get, like the ground is super red. Everything's huge. I look down at myself, like my hands were huge. My skin was red. And my fingers were like, I look like Thanos or something. Like,
nice.
Like, and you just like,
you just been snapping them fingers left and right.
So, yeah, just like ridiculously. I remember just everything being huge. My hands, my feet, my sandals. I had this this device. It kind of looked like a garden tool. It was like this kind of like pole like staff thing with a metal like square, and I was using it to move the ground. I basically was creating structures with energy and like moving, basically shifting the ground to create like structures.
Whoa.
And so, yeah, and I guess it, like, I remember it being really weird that I was doing that by myself because I think it's normally done with the group. But anyway, so at the, I won't go into everything, but at the end of this past life regression, I'm at this big banquet and, everything's huge, everything's super white. I'm with, I think I was with my wife or, someone at the time, but like my significant other.
Sounds like you were like Hellboy or some shit.
Well, I would actually, yeah, that's
yeah, like that's who that's what that sounds like.
But I was some important. Like, I don't know if I was a politician or a leader or something, but we were in this huge banquet, and I remember seeing like you could look out, you could see the other like cities and buildings like in our society. Like everything was like this really like white, shiny, like kind of like marble, like stone. And then, like, in the last part of the memory, I remember seeing something hit, like, this other city and everything exploded. And I remember just, like, we were just there. We were all at this party at 1 second. We see this explosion. Everyone starts freaking out. And then we're just, like, not there anymore. Like, that was the end of that regression. But, yeah, super crazy. I, didn't really know like what to think of that, but actually one thing that I asked my higher self in that session, like like why was I supposed to see that, or I guess what was the significance, and is that apparently a lot of the people who were on that planet when it was destroyed have reincarnated on Earth and they're here now. And yeah, the planet was called Marduk. So I don't know. I actually don't know what planet that is. If it's another name for Maldek, or if it's a name for Mars, or if it's in another solar system, or what. But yeah, it was a pretty incredible experience. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to get her on. So. Okay, well, here we are.
But yeah, that was 10. I mean, yeah, man, the walnut milk I think saved me, yo. Like, it really helped me out a lot.
I'm not gonna lie. The first 2/3
feels really good.
First 2/3 was alright. Yeah. The last third kicked my ass.
Those habanero ones
kicked my ass, yo. Like I gotta go. So, yo, it was great.
Yeah, that was fun.
I had a great time.
Shout out to Hot Ones.
Shout out to Hot Ones.
Yeah, we love it.
Shout out to all the companies who made a different hot sauces that we got going on here.
Did you have a favorite hot sauce out of all of them?
Shoot, I could stop tasting it after I got to about halfway.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what this tastes like. But actually, I would say that one was bomb.
Yeah, I really like the Humboldt hot sauce.
Mango OG.
Yeah, Humble hot
Keep it
sauce,
OG around
habanero
here.
mango OG.
All right, well,
And then I really like the Yeah Boy hot sauce too. That's my friend Chris's one. But that and then the organic harvest foods. Yeah, the habanero ones. I just love habanero, yo.
and habanero does not love you. So
Yeah, apparently it does.
on that note,
better.
or should I say, loves me?
Yeah,
Good stuff, dog.
good stuff, man.
Okay, let's just wrap this up.
That was fun.
Peace. Thanks for watching this episode from Appropriate Culture. If you want to watch other episodes, make sure to make your way to appropriateculture.com. You can also hang out with us in other social media platforms. They're all in the link in the description. And aside from that, if you want to listen to the podcast on other platforms like Audible, Spotify, any of those, you can also find us there as well. Link in the description. Take it easy, guys. Have a good day.